Red pill or blue pill? Pick one. Take the blue if you want to keep on going with your life and accepting that the reality you live in is the one you want to continue living in. Or take the red one and break free from the matrix. Choose who you want to be, make money, be successful. Don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't be. The internet the last few years has been an interesting place to be. From all the talk of being a top G and being alpha, one has to wonder, where did all of this come from? Well, today, we're going to go over the fall of Red Pill. To understand the fall of Red Pill, we have to go back to understand the rise of Red Pill and why it even had a platform to begin with, and it all starts from the woke era, as I would coin it. The woke era on YouTube and other platforms is an era where the political correctness was a display in mass, and it would seem that anyone could get cancelled if you just didn't breathe correctly. It was really stupid, and people like Leafy is Here and Grady Under A were being phased out of YouTube, and being supportive of the political left agendas was a trend for the time being. If you didn't agree with it, you were the enemy. At first, the woke era was in good taste, as there was a sentiment to just take out the edginess of all social media and to be just, a bit more corporate friendly. This was in light of all of the harassment of prior years, and people just wanted a fresh start of something more positive. No more iDubbbz, no more Leafy is Here. You get the idea. However, that didn't last long, as the feminist and LGBTQ advocates started painting anyone who was not with them as a misogynist, bigot, homophobic, and transphobic. These labels started falling on people who deserved it, and then to people that didn't. Dave Chappelle is a notable example, as his stand-up routines were always labeled as transphobic, when it was quite the contrary, and being labeled as any of those attractions would open up individuals to being harassed and doxxed. People all over the world sat in silence as they feared that simply speaking up would destroy their lives in the process, and that isn't something anyone wanted. Then comes a character that many knew nothing about. The man himself, the top G, Andrew Tate. This man would go on to talk about in a podcast of how he believed the world is not in the right state of mind and how men have been emasculated. Sharing his viewpoint was seen as a detriment to his career. But that didn't happen. Andrew himself took on the criticism and shared his outlandish views, showing the world he didn't care of what others would say of him. He labeled those who attacked him as people who were in the matrix, and he was broken free from it. To add to the validity of his statements, he would show off his lavish lifestyle and ask people what the color of their Bugatti was. It was effective. Being the trending topic on the internet and being one of the most talked about people in the world rose him to infamy within the matter of days, and many people made him out to be public enemy number one. As more of what Andrew and his brother Tristan claims were being aired all over the world and being covered, more people started to resonate with the message that they needed to be more of a man and to be more in control. Their success paved the path to the Red Pill ideology coming to the forefront of the world. The success of the Red Pill ideology was seen by many as the answer to the woke era's idiotic antics and takes. Many people were tired of what happened, and there was a subsequent close to the chapter as social media audiences started to pick a side. A war erupted, and for anyone who was still in the mindset of the woke era was labeled as a blue pill shill. Those who took on the red pill ideology aspired to become the next top G, and in all honesty, this, in my opinion, was the dumbest time to be on the internet, as it felt like two idiots fighting over the dumbest validation-seeking war I have ever seen. While this was happening, the success of the Tate brothers grew due to the fact that they were honest in their views and showed to be genuine to their ideology, with Andrew embracing Islam and Tristan sticking by his brother's side and believing they were morally justified. Some of the people who saw the internet meltdown and how the Tate brothers stood out started to take note of the growing fame of the Red Pill ideology and wanted to use their ideology for their own nefarious reasons. On YouTube, creators like Sneako and Adin Ross took to the ideology of Red Pill and Andrew Tate and used it in ways to just make a quick buck off of the entire situation. They saw that they could drive in a new audience into their channels that would listen to them as long as they supported the Red Pill ideology and the people who were behind it. This grift worked out in their favor in many ways, but also spelled the divide in the platform for audiences. With the success that Sneako and Adin Ross had gotten, many other creators jumped on to the bandwagon, and one more that I would care to mention is the Fresh and Fit podcast. There is a reason for this, so stay with me. These three channels represented three main reasons why the Red Pill ideology started to die on the internet altogether. Of course, there is a fourth reason, but that's a special reason I'll get into at the end. As the legal trouble of the Tate brothers was catching up to them, and the fact that they were being deplatformed, many shifted their focus onto the disingenuous grifters. They started to represent the Red Pill as their own personas, but cracks started to form. Sneako had been questioned on clips where he supported his then girlfriend to sleep around with many other men, or the time where he supported cuties but couldn't form a coherent opinion that people could understand at the time. Of course, this took Moist Critical to really reason this out with him, and the dumbest of all, where he tried to pick a fight with a beloved creator. Of course, I'm talking about Moist Critical here, and then getting cyberslapped by Charlie himself. Many other situations showed that with the many flaws Sneako's had, his audience could not back him on the whole Red Pill stance, taking out one of the pillars keeping it up. The next is Adin Ross, who used his connection with Andrew Tate at first to show his seriousness with the ideology, with Andrew taking him in and teaching him how to be a man in his eyes. Adin would use this opportunity to get as many views as possible with Andrew and subsequently be called out by Andrew himself. It first started as little jabs at his demeanor and his appearance, but slowly showed his lack of willingness to be serious, to then be called out by Andrew for using drugs and drinking lean. All this made Andrew realize that his time with Adin was a waste and that he was just there to profit off of him, just taking out another pillar of the Red Pill ideology. The third was the Fresh and Fit podcast, and though I am naming them, they will be representing the other podcasts that have done exactly what they have done and used the Red Pill ideology to cover up their messed up sense of morality, from inviting on OnlyFans models and making them look like idiots, to influencers who seem morally justified in the feminist and LGBTQ ideologies. Podcasts like the Fresh and Fit podcast would quote-unquote take down the figures and show how idiotic they are. At first, while at the peak of the Red Pill ideology, they would garner a lot of support, and a lot of the podcasts slowly started to embroil themselves in controversies and drama, where they didn't really seem to be super morally upright. With the growing list of controversies, and them piling on, many people were able to recognize that the issue that these podcasts were just a bunch of degens with warped moralities and personalities. If this was the face of Red Pill, then many people did not want it. This destroyed another pillar. Finally, the last standing pillar that subsequently destroyed the Red Pill ideology was, funny enough, the fact that it clashed with Islam. And I know what you're thinking. Why are you bringing religion into this? Trust me, it makes sense, and just follow with me on it. The one religion that Andrew Tate and Sneeko and those from the Red Pill turn to with its hard stances on gender roles and respect it maintains made many proponents of Red Pill actually showed that their statements were not in line with Islam, as audiences began to notice that the Red Pill ideology crumbled when put to the test by Muslim ideology. It became clear that Red Pill was not as thought out and put together as many sought to be. This created more of a clash on religious debates on YouTube and TikTok, with the Muslim ideology being clear that the Red Pill ideology was poisonous to the individual. With that being the case, many seeing the writing on the wall and the content surrounding the Red Pill ideology starting to slow down, those who once were proponents of the acclaimed Red Pill either parted ways with the ideology and admitted that they were grifters, or are now shouting into a vacuum that, frankly, on this day, no one really cares about. I know this is an interesting take from me, and this is one of the videos that I really had to look into, take a bit of notes, and really come up with my own conclusions here. I'll be honest, with me saying what I just said, some of you may agree with it, some of you may not. It is what it is. It is just my opinion at the end of the day. And if I could just speak freely for a moment here, the idea that we have this red pill, blue pill, black pill, I think there's a translucent pill now, or whatever the hell there is, I think all of these ideologies are just straight up stupid, and they don't really benefit into any conversation. In fact, I just feel that they're all coping mechanisms to people that don't seem to understand that, yes, you have to work on yourself as a human being. Get fit, get healthy, make money. I get that. There's a hustle, there's a grind. But who are you as a person? Do you care about the truth? Do you care about where you stand in life? These are questions one has to ask themselves. It's not about just chasing women or women chasing men. It simply doesn't matter. And to be honest, you are a person that should live life the way you want to live it. Go for it. Do what you want to do. Heck, I'm doing that right now. But with that being said, if all of these people are just going to go ahead and debate about what they think you should be or you shouldn't be, I just tell you straight up, what the funniest, and this goes back to the beginning of Red Pill, the funniest line is, are you gonna let people tell you what you can and can't be? Seriously? I just say, take that statement and go do whatever you want with your life. I know you can do it. And I was not thinking I'd, end this on a positive note, but here we are, I guess. But if you liked what you liked, and you like this video, like it, comment. If you dislike it, just dislike it, and tell me what you think. But at the end, don't really care. I'm just gonna go on with my day. See ya. Bye.